Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Aaron with Midlife Crisis, and we're working on our Tacoma build. I think this is going to be video 9 out of about 52. We're trying to get one out a week on all the modifications we're doing to this truck. So yeah, please hit the subscribe and follow along with us as we do all the improvements to the truck. Today we are doing a dual battery system because we're going to be adding all sorts of lights and I don't want to tell you everything, give it all away, but you know, like the big ticket items, a winch, maybe an air compressor or something, you never know, just other stuff too. So we need a dual battery system so we don't drain the battery too much. And I think this one includes a booster, so you can use both batteries at the same time if you need to. But let's get started. Hello, and welcome to Midlife Crisis. My name is Aaron, and I invite you to follow along with me and my son Austin on our journey as we build out a few camper vans and customize a new Toyota Tacoma into a beast. Then later in the year, we'll head out to Southeast Asia to ride a couple of adventure bikes through multiple countries, sharing the amazing experience with our viewers and ending our tour in Thailand. There, we will decide what to do next. Maybe buy a sailboat and sail around the world. Who knows? So please hit subscribe and follow us on this adventure. All right, so here is the Genesis dual battery kit. Price-wise, this comes in at $5.99. We also opted for Napa Series 34 batteries. I think the two of these came in at about $375 for both of them. And I paid the core fee because I didn't give them back an old core. I'm gonna give my battery to my mom. They do have 800 cranking amps of power, cold. So that's more than the stock Tacoma at 660. So we got both of these. So that puts us right around, what is that, $975 for this particular item. You're gonna need a 25/64 drill bit for the rivnuts that we have to put in. Also, if you don't have a rivnut gun like we do, you might want to look on the internet on how to install rivnuts with a standard bolt and ratchet. There is a way to do it. It's not as easy as a rivnut gun, but so anyway, we need our paint because we're going to be drilling some holes. We got a 10, a 12, and a 1/2 inch socket for our wrench, and I'm going to mark my holes with my old-fashioned hammer and screwdriver since I broke my other one. Pin to mark the holes. These 4 bolts here go to the top of the battery holder. We've got some new bolts for the negative connection on the post because we're extending that to add a couple different additions to it. We got to put both of these on there as well as the negatives that we have. So these are our bolts and our rivnuts to bolt the case down to the truck. And this is the brain of the whole operation. God, that's heavy. So this will go on across the 2 batteries to hold them down. Your factory negative post will be over here. Your factory positive post will be on the other battery. Your solenoid basically controls all the power coming in and out of the battery. If the alternator's on and charging this battery, it waits till this battery gets to 12.7 volts, and then it opens up the solenoid and allows the auxiliary battery to charge. In the event you're sitting in the car with your girlfriend overlooking the city, having well, you wouldn't be drinking a cocktail in your car because that's just wrong, but you're having a 7-Up or a Coke, and you run the battery low from listening to music, and it doesn't want to start. So you got this power boost button right here, which will open up the solenoid and allow you to start the car from both batteries. So that's a nice little safety feature. Other than that, gloves, towel, rivet gun, drill. Let's get started. Okay, we're gonna get started taking this stuff out. Get this out of the way.
How good is the mic on this, Cam?
Good enough that it hears you when you talk.
That's good. Hello.
No, why am I tightening it?
Righty tighty.
Dummy. All right.
Where's your gloves?
Go get a flathead screwdriver, please. Yeah.
careful with your metal.
Come on. There we go. Take that off. Sometimes you need to just separate these a little bit. Just get it in there and twist it so you can get it off the post. There we go. We're going to tuck this way back here out of the way. Same thing with the negative. There we go. Tuck this one back like this. Okay, now we need to take off.
Take my hand with it.
I won't need that anymore. Just because this is going to be in the way, it has a little clip there. We're going to turn it straight up and down and then tighten it back up. Okay, part of the directions say to, when you remove the battery, it's a heavy one.
Don't touch both sides, right?
Take the battery tray with it. So they mentioned that this clamp right here for the fuse box is going to be in the way, so they recommend removing it. Your fuse box will still, the lid will still stay on because you have two other brackets. You have one here, you have one over here that clamp it down. So they recommend removing this. One of my favorite tools. All right.
Like butter.
Like butter. Get that out of the way. All right, so you're gonna have to be careful of this. You're gonna be careful of your positive wires here. You're gonna be careful of all your wires going into your fuse. These two wires down here, I already broke the clip that holds this down under here during my lift kit installation. So yeah, so that's just be able to move around so you can get the two upper posts there. So I'm sure you can see that right down there. Yes, yes you can. Okay, good. It's good. So here is our holder. This is going to slide right on down in here. Make sure we don't hit the light assembly. We got it down here into the bottom. Okay. Make sure we're on the ground over there and the ground in front. Not sitting on anything. No wires in the way. Yep, that's movable. Okay. Why is that? Oh, it's because I'm moving it. All right, so we want to try and keep this, you know, we've got this battery going on here. So if we are at a little bit of an angle, that should be okay. But we want to stay away from this post. Because when we get our batteries in here, we'll do a little test fit here real quick. Because we got the light bracket right here, the back of the lights. You've got this in the way, and you got this thing in the way. So let's get the batteries in there. Oh crap. And they're heavy. No, I understand they're not in correctly. I'm just doing this to do a test fit. Okay. Jesus, this is a heavy rip like that.
Is it stuck on this?
Well, you just want to be able to turn this so that you can put additional oil back in your vehicle. So as long as you can get this off without too much impedance. Like
If anything, you just slightly.
Well, it is in a way a little bit. Once it gets bolted down, there's no moving it. So we want to make sure ahead of time that it doesn't. So we need to make sure that we're not
From this angle, it looks like it's just the battery.
not hitting the back of the lights. Okay. We want to watch our coolant lines down here. We're not hitting those. I want to get off of this a little bit, but in order to do that, I would have to adjust. No, that's not going to get adjusted. So that looks like as good as it's going to get right there. It is tight. It's definitely tight for adding all this battery power. So just be careful that you can still get to this and get this off so you can add oil to your truck. Always a good thing. You want to be careful down here in this corner of the light assembly. So I'm going to try to push that a little bit forward. And then you're watching your cables going into your fuse box. So those are your three, well, and you're pretty far away from your coolant lines. I would say you're about 3/4 of an inch from both of them, so you're no worries there. Your biggest concern is going to be here, back down here in the corner, and back up front here with the headlight assembly. So let's go ahead and pull those out. So I noticed that did move a little bit. So let's keep it off our light assembly. We're off here. I'm trying to pull it over as close as I can to move these wires. Just push them over just a little bit. It's going to hit there, so that's fine. That looks good. And we're going to be really close right there. So that looks like about it. And you would think 4 bolts would be enough, but they make you put in 6. For God's sakes. Get this one a little bit better. So basically, with the rib nut gun, by the way, you can find these on Amazon. They're like 35 bucks and they come with all sorts of different attachments. This particular attachment, if I can even get it down in here, is a quarter 20 attachment. So you just take it, force it into the hole, start pinching, open it up, tighten it up a little more, and do that 2 or 3 times. And unscrew it. go. Your rib nuts in there, nice and tight. All right, so we got our bolts in now. Gently lower this thing in here and get it all in position. Make sure you're not on any of those wires down below this panel. Okay, everything's looking good. Yeehaw! Okay, and included in your kit, you will have six bolts, 6 washers. Obviously, they go in the 6 locations we just drilled. So our next step is to get the batteries in, and then we'll work on the top part. Your first battery should be your auxiliary battery with the negative pointing towards the firewall. Your next battery should be pointing towards positive, should be pointing towards the positive cable that we installed. And we're gonna have to take these off. They just twist off. There we go. There's one.
Almost had it.
There we go. Okay, so those are in, nice and solid. I can still turn and get to my oil. I'm not rubbing against the lighthouse, the light box, I should say. And we're all good there. So let's go ahead and take our caps off here. Dang it. Give me a flathead screwdriver, Austin. Alright. Okay, now that we got our batteries in there, we want to get our connections here. Now the brackets down below are pre-drilled with a nut in it, welded into it. So all we have to do is just drop this over the top, and they provide you with 4 bolts that just go right in top of there. And I believe these are 1/2 inch, so go ahead and give me the 1/2 inch ratchet. No. Get that on there nice and good. That's good. Those aren't going anywhere. Alright, not too much. You don't want to crack the casing of the batteries. So here we have our positive. Make sure that's seated all the way down there really good. And then we're going to need a 10 millimeter just wrench, 10 millimeter wrench. Please? Yes, little one. Thank you. Make sure that's on there nice and good. Okay. Then we're gonna take this bolt off here, which I believe is a 12. And we're going to take that all the way off. Then we're going to slide our other positive on there. And then we're going to crank that baby down. Nice and solid. There you go. Close enough. Close enough for the girls we date. That's what my dad used to say. Oh, not so much maybe. Let's see if we can get that thing to stay on there good. Not that it's a big deal, but I want it to look pretty. Oh my God. Maybe that'll hold it. And yeah, it did. Okay. So now we've got our negative over here, and we've already taken out the bolt of this, and they give you a new bolt. You wanted to have saved your square washer. Get this in here. Kind of got to thread it in there a little bit to get it going. Come on, in there. Put your square washer on, and one of the two bolts. Push this thing out of the way here. Get that out of the way. And this will go up against your square washer. Come on, fat fingers. Okay, and this is what we're going to wrench. Keeping in mind, you still have to add this on here and this onto the bolt, so have it positioned in a way that will allow you to maneuver. You can loosen this one up and maneuver this one around to get it on here and then tighten it back down there. But let's get that on there good. Yeah, I think that should be. Yeah, we'll loosen that up to do that. All right, that is down. Let's push this back a little bit, get it on here. And this one is a 1/2 inch.
1/2 inch.
On there. 1/2 inch.
1/2 inch.
Okay, that's not going anywhere. Turn it on our negative here. I don't think I'm going to get that on there. There we go. Make sure nothing moves, or you'll get electrical gremlins everywhere. I think we can go ahead and tighten this back down. So your posts, these are basically bus bars. So you use the large posts on either side for your big ticket items such as air compressors, winches, amplifiers, things like that, stereos, what have you. And all these little individual ones you can use for LED lighting and such. all your lower stuff, your smaller cable stuff. But the big ones, you can use the big posts. So we'll go ahead and just...
Still got a couple of safety things too.
Yeah, you got
when you
your
put stuff in there.
extra holes. So this will actually be for, you know, when you run cables down here to the winch, you can use this as your shield. And you don't need anything on the ground, obviously. So that's it for that. Let's pull these out of here. And let's fire it up. Make sure we got a good start. Nope. Ooh, listen to that exhaust. Video link below. So this needs to run for 2 minutes, showing that this battery is at 12.7 or greater. And this light will come on, the red light, and it'll show that both batteries are charging. Everything's working. That's how you install the Genesis dual battery. If you guys got any benefit out of this, please like and subscribe. We need people. We get to rename our channel when we hit 100 subscribers. Help a brother out. All right, guys. Thanks for following. Talk to you soon. Look what I forgot. I forgot to put the damn paint in when I frickin' drilled them open. Learn from my mistakes, people. I'm an idiot. See, that is not the right size. But it did put them down. Okay. And our positive is going to be right here. Okay. There we go. Go. And our negative is going to be over here, but we have to take this one off. There should be a square washer. We're going to keep that square washer right there and don't lose it. Set this aside. And they provide you with another bolt with 2 nuts and a washer. We're going to use the regular bolt. We're going to have to thread it in here. There we go. We're going to put our square washer that they supply you in there to lock that in, and then we're going to wrench this down in this direction. But you know what we have to do first? Because I'm a big dummy.
Washer. Something.
Blooper reel. Retard.
What'd you miss? Oh yeah, the big thing I was holding, going, oh look at this.
Don't you love how I set out gloves to use and wear, and I never wear them? And then I end up breaking nails and all that stuff.
I warned you.
I know.
Your safety advisor warned you.
Austin is our shop OSHA advisor. He's in charge of the Band-Aids.
I'm laughing at him when he gets hurt.
After he knows I'm gonna live, then he laughs at me. You know, like you're supposed to do when somebody falls and whatever. Okay, that's pretty tight. That's not going anywhere. All right, so now, and that's gonna be the 1/2 inch.